Hey everyone, happy Monday. It's Allie with The Right Place, Right Time, award-winning author, international book coach, and ghostwriter, here with today's Memoir Minute, where you get to learn about memoir 1 minute at a time. Today I'm doing a hot and skinny take on the fear of writing about people, because this trips up a lot of memoirists. They know that there are some things that they want to say. They're worried about the people in their lives, especially those who are still alive, reading their book and finding fault with the way that they portrayed a particular event or portrayed them inside of that experience. And this is a valid concern, right? None of us, I don't think, well, most of us, I should say, are not out there to intentionally hurt anyone, or to intentionally make somebody look like a villain or a bad guy on the page. And if you are doing that and you're trying to just get back at people, then you need to watch a separate video. But those of us who are concerned about this are usually those that are really, very loving and caring about those in our lives, and have forgiveness or a different understanding now that we're older and wiser to look at that person's impact on us through a different lens. And we get worried about them finding fault. This is, again, a natural reaction, and there are some things that we can do around the writing of the manuscript to make you feel like you've done your due diligence to be as gentle, graceful, and kind with that person as much as possible. There are things that can protect their anonymity, like changing their name, not giving away particular characteristics that would, identify them 100%, so that somebody else who knows you would know who you're talking about. We can change slight details, or only share certain details, right? So this kind of ability to pick and choose carefully which details that you share in an experience with a person, so that we're really protecting them a little bit more from the other readers and eyes that are on the book that might know you personally. And of course, having to remember that, not everybody is going to read it. They may not read it. Most of the people who read it probably don't know you and don't know who you're talking about, and so they're going to be looking at it pretty objectively anyway. You also have to recognize that, like, this is your truth. You're telling your story from your perspective. You can't tell the story from somebody else's perspective. You don't have that knowledge and insight. You can't slip into somebody else's body to know what they were thinking or feeling at the time, what their motivations might have been, where they were coming from. You certainly, if you have a relationship with them where you could talk about these things and try to pull in those perspectives in a particular kind of way into the manuscript, then you might be able to do that. But if you're on the outs with these people, or these people are no longer in your life, that kind of thing, then you really need to weigh, how realistic is the concern that these people come back after you? How realistic is the concern that they're even paying attention to you writing a book? How realistic is the concern that they would sue you for libel or defamation of character? And, also, how much have you done your due diligence to write this in a way that you've been careful about what you've shared, careful about what you've said? So as much as there's a fear and concern here, and I'm not downplaying that, the more that you understand memoir, the more that you feel in control of the story you're telling and the manuscript you're writing, the better you're going to feel about what you're trying to say about these other people and how you say it, and feel really good about what you come up with on the other side, what kind of product you end up with. And this fear begins to not necessarily go away entirely, but subside a little bit. There's a lot more that we could go into here, and if you find that parts of this are vague, well, that's because it would take us a lot longer than a few minutes to dive into how to do this well, and how to kind of like uproot this fear and turn it into something else. But basically, let's just leave it with, it's a normal concern, it's a normal fear, but it is something that you can overcome and that you can work with, and still write a really great book that is honest and truthful without you having to hide or write under a pen name, or worry about, lawyers coming after you. If you want to talk more about this fear or other fears about writing a memoir, then I invite you to join me for a story stroll. This is a 1-to-1 20-minute conversation with me where we just get to talk about your book, and this is one of my favorite things to do with people. So if you're interested in that, please DM me or drop into the comments that you're interested, and we'll set up a time to talk. In the meantime, have a great week, and I will see you next time for another Memoir Minute.